Hi everyone, this is Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop. And I have a question here for this reading, which is, will Putin conquer Ukraine? Will he be successful in his mission? I'm going to use my vintage alternative Lenormand deck. So will Putin be successful in conquering Ukraine? Let's see what we get. Will he be successful? And two. I'm just going to start with two cards just to start with. House. House, I'm going to take that as Ukraine. Okay, home base, stability, family. And we've got stork can represent a lot of things, can represent change, new life, travel. So lots of changes, okay. That could be people leaving, could be babies being born, coming and going, okay. So all of this activity that's happening. Family tree, very grounded cards. These two in particular, very grounded. Family tree, family roots. Okay, the army Swiss knife, the army pocket knife, the army Swiss pocket knife. This one's different. This one's an invention, problem solver, multi-skilled. So if I'm reading this still as the Ukrainians, it's almost like they have their home, they have their heritage, they have their roots, they're not going anywhere, although there's a lot of changes, a lot of people coming and going. Okay, overall the roots and the groundedness is there. I'm going to take this as the people of Ukraine, kind of like using different methods, weapons, adapting to the situation as well. Using their skills, their army Swiss knife. And then we have here, something's splitting and cutting off. So there is a feeling of harsh cut-off splitting. So there is a feeling of, obviously, the country being split, divided, hurt, cut down, okay? It's interesting, the symbolism as well is, Ukraine is known for being the breadbasket of Europe. So they grow their crops. So they're known for their crops and wheat. So it's a little bit like they've had a hit, they've had an attack, they've been mowed down, their buildings are being destroyed and things like that. But they're resilient. They've got, weapons, they're multi-skilled. The people are taking up arms, people are getting trained. Okay, they have a strong foundation, strong heritage. People will come and go, and there's, children as well. Stork is usually to do with children and birth. So, although it does show Ukraine's, getting cut down, mowed down, there is a feeling here of like sort of unity still. So I just want to reiterate, so the question is, will Putin have victory over Ukraine? So judging from this, I'll see this as Ukraine, the home and the house. This is the stork, which is new beginnings, people coming and going. Also, the stork represents returning back to the homeland, because storks, they build their nest, but then they fly south for the winter time and then they come back in spring. So this is also about rebirth. And then we've got the tree, which is about roots and stability. Then we've got a bit of a wild card with the army knife, which to me represents the resilience of the people. Okay, and then it shows, although they have been cut down and injured and hurt, harsh cut off splitting, there is a feeling of strength in Ukraine still. So I wanted to focus on this pairing a little bit more. Okay, so if I take this as the people of Ukraine, it shows they're multitasking and they're learning new skills, okay, learning how to use weapons and tools. However, it seems like that many of them obviously will get cut down. However, I could also read it as this could be also read as the Russian army, because after all, after all, it is an army knife. So it could be representing the Russian army attacking, okay? But they also seem to be splitting and get cut down too. So whichever way you read it, if we take this as either the army of Ukraine or the people taking up arms in Ukraine or the Russian army, either way, it's showing that this is getting cut down. It's not creating success. So the question is really about, will Putin be successful? And what it shows me is that his army is not going to be successful. So the sum total is when we add up all of the cards and get a total. So we've got 4, 16 and 25. 4 plus 16 plus 25 plus 11 plus 23 equals 79. 7 plus 9 equals 16. So 16 is the stork. Okay, so the stork again represents rebirth, coming back, returning. Okay, so even though there's been this cutting down and splitting, it seems like there's an energy of it returning. Looks like the Ukrainian people will return. So this does not look like a victory for Putin, although he has caused damage. The other thing I want to say as well is, for people that are agreeing with Putin's methods, originally he wanted to liberate and save the Ukrainians from the Nazification of Ukraine. My question is, why are the refugees not running towards Russia? Why are they rushing towards Europe? So if they were feeling like Putin was trying to save them, why are they running away in the opposite direction? All right, so let's go over to the tarot now, and we're going to ask the tarot the same question. Will Putin be successful, have victory over Ukraine? I'm going to use my yellow tarot with keywords for this one. So will he have victory? Will he win whatever he's trying to win? 1, 2. Okay, this is again family, home, money. Okay, and we've got people traveling back and forward again. So this is very much mirroring the previous reading. It starts off with family, home, money, wealth, and then it shows people moving back and forward. It says it here, travel to many places, much activity, messages back and forth, movement involving other people. Okay, so the Fool. Again, the Fool is a bit naive, and it could be also travel, a new beginning, adventure, take a risk, leap of faith. So this could be read a couple of ways. It could be read that people were not expecting to move, and it could also be that perhaps the plan to take Ukraine was not the way that it was meant to be, because the Fool is a little bit of a risk, a little bit of a wild card as well. The Empress. Empress is very much, for me, is very much Ukraine, because it's the breadbasket of Europe, and it literally shows a woman with wheat. So this is like the fields and the country, and it's kind of connecting back to the 10 of Pentacles. And we have guarded. So people are guarded, people are defensive. So this could be them defending their country. So it's kind of similar to the first reading. It's sort of showing family, family history, family ties. This one usually represents history, tradition, okay, security, generational wealth, society, government, imposing buildings or places and institutions. This is kind of like, I think this is Ukraine. People have suddenly left, and perhaps they're not sure where they're going. Fool is a bit like lost as well, but there still seems to be a feeling of Ukraine holding on and being abundant, okay? And they're going to protect themselves. These could be the soldiers and the civilians who are taking up arms to protect themselves. I'm going to pull out one extra card. Okay, and the Temperance, to find balance. So to me, this is not really talking about Putin at all. To me, it looks like it's like 95% about Ukraine. So this is about them finding their balance, getting used to the situation, although it's horrific what's happening. It's almost like they get their equilibrium back. I think what's happened is obviously it was shocking and people were scattering in different directions, not sure where to go, but then it seems like they pull themselves together and they find a balance. Now, the card Temperance, the keywords are balance, moderation, patience, harmony, alchemy, tolerance, yin and yang, evaluation, evaluate, and blending the right elements. So again, it still seems to show Ukraine in a strong way. And these two in particular really sort of symbolize Ukraine. All right, so I'm going to ask the Trinity Renaissance deck now, the same question. Okay. Same question. So will Putin, going to make Putin first and then Ukraine, will he win? Will he have victory over Ukraine? Putin. Pegasus flying out this side. Ukraine. Ukraine is the ring. The ring is pretty united and it's also about being stable and partnership as well and tradition. Middle card is the connecting card. Okay, this is power and money. Okay. There's illusions and slippery energy with the merman and the outcome. The outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is that things are still spinning and not really grounded. So let me just read you the merman, because that's the future direction. Where is the merman? That's merman here. Okay, so the merman is a career question. Is a con man, false news, fake news, lies, slippery dealings, charmer, uses the voice to spread lies, being led in the wrong direction, bad advice, set up to fail. So what it shows me here is Ukraine is united, ring, diamond. Diamonds are forever and diamonds are tough, right? Putin is sort of flying around. Usually Pegasus usually represents travel and movement, but in this case it looks like he's kind of exiting the building. The middle card, the crown, can be wealth and power, but it's going into slipperiness, and then the Wheel of Fortune represents things are spinning around. So the Wheel of Fortune in a career and love question is travel, change, movement, going around in circles, luck, chance, unpredictable, up in the air, expect the unexpected, big win or big loss, reversal of fortune. So it's still not showing a winning here. It's still not showing a strong winning, but it is showing that Ukraine is strong and united, that's for sure. I think all three readings so far have shown that side of Ukraine. This is Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop.